Well, we have Yoko on the line right now. Yoko, welcome to WPFW again. It's great to hear your voice. And
Hello.
And hear your music. Wow, what an incredible version of freedom. What made you choose that for your new record, Songs of Joy?
I'm sorry, what is it?
Why did you decide to do that old anthem that Richie Havens did over 50 years ago? This song.
This song?
Yes.
You know, first of all, thank you for having me.
Sure.
Thank you, Rusty. Yes, you know, during the pandemic, I was watching a bunch of YouTube and, you know, listening to all kinds of music, but I saw the 1969 Woodstock Festival.
Right.
YouTube, and when I saw he was singing, you know, this song Freedom, but originally it was a traditional song. It's called Motherless Child, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just fell in love with this song when I saw this video because, you know, his spirit and energy, you know, that I was so inspired by his spirit and energy. And I just wanted to play the song so bad.
Oh, boy, this is incredible what you did to it. It was just remarkable.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely. So, you know, the last time we talked, we got into, you know, how you got started growing up playing classical piano and getting into jazz. But you might refresh our listeners because there's always somebody new to your music. So tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. I started playing classical music like everybody does in Japan. Started from 4 years old. And I, you know, played the classical for a long time, like, got into college studying, you know, classical music. I was very serious about classical music. But one day I listened to jazz and I discovered jazz. I fell in love with, you know, that music.
Who were you listening to? Who was it?
You know, I went to see a movie,
mm-hmm.
and the movie had the song. It's called "Smoke Gets in Your Eyes."
Yes.
You know, the old version,
mm-hmm.
and I just fell in love with that music, and I started to, you know, listen to more and more jazz.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
mm-hmm.
of course, Bill Evans and, you know, Herbie Hancock and anybody. You know, then I totally switched to jazz as soon as I graduated from college. Studying classical, I was like, I'm done.
How did your parents feel about that?
Oh, my mom, she loved jazz.
Okay.
So she grew up listening to jazz from the radio, you know. So she was really happy, actually.
Fantastic. And how did you get to the United States?
So I received a scholarship from Berklee College of Music,
mm-hmm.
where I teach now.
Right.
So when I came here, I never thought I would be teaching, you know, but I'm in the piano department, and, you know, so you never know what's going to happen in your life.
Absolutely.
But,
boy,
yeah.
I know. I just stumbled into doing radio. It was never really an ambition, but I was in college. And I just saw somebody with some jazz albums, you know, in a lunch counter, you know, where we could drink beer and talk and stuff like that. And I was already listening to jazz. I'd already seen John Coltrane perform, and
wow,
and had was at the Bohemian Caverns when Ramsey Lewis did the In Crowd. So I was really into the music.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy said he was really hip. He had some great albums. He said, "Well, look, I just finished playing these on my radio show on WGTB, the campus station at Georgetown." And he said, "But I got to give it up for a class. Do you want to do it? Come by next Monday." You know?
Wow!
And I've been doing it ever since, and that was like 1966. 1 day a week. It's never been a job. It's always been a passion. So I know how you can.
Amazing.
So yeah, I know how you get into, you know, teaching along with performing. You know.
Yeah, and congratulations on the Benny Golson Award.
Well, thank you. No, I'm really honored that Howard University is gonna present this award to me. There's a whole slew of great musicians and advocates of the music. You know, people like McCoy Tyner. You know, and
wow.
you know, I just Gary Barstow. It's a host of too many musicians to name that I feel honored to be a part of. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
So coming up on Sunday, your usual trio of Will Slater and Scott Golding will be working with you, of course.
Yes.
And what are some of the things that you will be doing?
We will be playing some songs from all my albums. Don't worry.
Okay,
but
sure.
It's going to be this Sunday, April 2nd, Sunday, and it's going to be a 2 sets, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. at the Blues Alley. So I hope a lot of people will come. It's going to be a beautiful day.
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure they will. Last time you were there and the time before that, you really filled up the club. So I don't see why not.
I hope so. Yeah.
No, I'm sure you will. No, Blues Alley's been, it was closed for much of the COVID, but they did a lot of streaming, like Harry Schnipper did streaming, not so much from the club, but from National Press Club. He said this is the Blues Alley brand is going to stay alive, and he did it, and they're back. And the one concession post COVID is starting early. Rather than 8 and 10, it's 7 and 9, and us older folks appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm so happy they're doing great.
So
Harry's been really supportive.
Of
artists.
It's really happening. It really is.
Yeah.
So when you put together a recording, how do you decide mixing in your own material with what original material that you're going to put in, mixed in with some standards, and really reaching back? I mean, in a way for looking at a folk song, from Woodstock, So how do you decide what are you going to incorporate in a recording?
It's always very hard to choose songs and putting together. And this time especially, I wrote a bunch of songs during the pandemic. I just decided to write one song a day. Just sit down on the piano and play something, just to record it, And I ended up using 5 songs from that recording I did. And I wanted to mix with other songs I wanted to record. So it's always hard, but especially I've been careful, putting together the song and same feeling,
sure.
has
So absolutely. So we'll hear a lot of it from this album. Songs of Joy, and it's interesting that Song of Joy is a Billy Preston composition. Yeah. So you really delved into some old pop music. It's fascinating how you mix in, how you'll mix in Mingus and Monk along with Richie Havens. It's really fascinating. So with your teaching up at Berkeley, you also perform in the Boston area a lot. Where else do you go when you're doing tours?
So actually, next week, Sunday from this Sunday, 1 week from this Sunday, April 9th, we're going to be in New York City, playing at the Birdland Club.
Okay.
Yes, Jazz Club. So that's what's happening. And, we're going to be playing at the Deer Head Inn in Pennsylvania this summer.
Oh, that's a classic jazz club. I've never been there, but I've been knowing about it for decades. So that's wonderful. That's really fabulous.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Where Keith recorded his live album and stuff. So, and so Scholars always I play here in the fall. Scholars Jazz Club in Boston. And there's a new club in New Hampshire. It's a beautiful jazz club. A new one. It's called Jimmy's.
Okay.
Yeah, New Hampshire. Lots of famous people coming here to play, like Herbie Hancock. He played like 2 nights and he's coming again.
Wow, that's incredible. New Hampshire. That's fantastic. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that's where we played last year, and we're talking about the next dates coming up. So, we have something coming up.
Fantastic. Well, again, you're at Blues Alley this coming Sunday, April 2nd, sets at 7 and 9. And again, there'll be a lot of material from this Songs of Joy, and I guess Keep Talking and some others that you'll be pulling out. So
definitely.
And we'll be playing something from that also. But you chose the Monk composition that you included to play next. Think of One.
Sure.
So we'll hear that, and I want to thank you again, Yoko, for calling in
tonight.
Thank
you, Rusty.
And again, Sunday night at Blues Alley. This is going to be a great set.
Thank you so much. I
welcome.
just want to mention, if people want to see more information, yokomiwa.com, or I have Instagram, Yoko Miwa, or Facebook, Twitter, and everything. So
okay, good.
Yes.
And Blues Alley also has its website up for reserving tickets for it also. So
yes.
20238. No, I'm not going to reach in my brain for the number. I used to know it by heart for decades, but I better not try to guess at it. It'll come up wrong. It's a hard time remembering my own. But Blues Alley, just Google Blues Alley, you'll get right to it. Thanks.
All right.
Thanks a lot, Yoko.
Thank you so much,
You're
Rusty.
very welcome.
Looking forward to seeing you on Sunday.
Absolutely. We think of one.